right, are you guys ready for the war cry? Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, yeah, welcome to the show. We are the Check Engine Light Club, yeah, welcome. We cry, we scream out the man's name, woo! That's right, welcome to the Check Engine Club. I'm your host, Driftwood, and if you have tuned in and you're listening to this, well, you've officially entered the age where your body's not acting like a high-performance sports car. It's probably acting a little bit more like a 1994 two-door Honda Civic with the wheels falling off. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm 49 years old. That's right, 49 years old. And that is a brutal age for any man. You know why? This is the reason why. I am not old enough to walk into a Denny's and get my senior citizens discount when I order my French toast, my 2 vegan sausages. That's right, vegan sausages, because my doctor said I can't eat meat anymore, but we're going to get to that one soon enough. But I'm definitely old enough that if I sit down too fast, I'll probably hear a nice little crunch in my lower back, and it ain't a bag of Tim's Cascade jalapeno potato chips. Now look, I do have a few chronic illnesses. I won't bore you with all the Latin names yet, but let's just say this. My medical chart is as thick as a dictionary and way more exciting than the movie Roadhouse. As a matter of fact, my doctor doesn't even use a clipboard anymore when I come there. He had to go out and get himself an iPad just to get through all the stuff wrong with me. Excuse me, Scott, just go ahead and instead of telling me what's wrong, why don't you do a quick scroll through and tell me what's right? That is literally what comes out of my doctor's mouth when I end up in there, which is like every other week. It used to be every other month or every 5 years, and then I had my accident, and whoop! Man, 200 plus doctor's appointments in the last, 5 years? About 5 years. Now, being a guy with a chronic illness is weird, and that's just the truth. As men, we are absolutely conditioned to completely ignore pain, mental pain, physical pain. I mean, if a guy breaks his leg, he usually tries to walk it off for 3 to 4 weeks before admitting he might actually need a Band-Aid. But when you have chronic illness or chronic stuff going on, you've got to be on top and monitor everything on the regular, right? Now, last week I had a brand new symptom pop up. That's right, my left foot started tingling out of nowhere. Now, 10 years ago, I probably would have just looked down and said, hey, dipshit, your shoe's too tight. Loosen up your shoelace. Now, I have to go through an entire mental checklist. That's right. Is it my nerve damage? Is it my poor circulation? Is it the medication I took at 8 a.m.? Is it the medication I took at 8:05 a.m. or the one at 10 a.m. that counteracts the one at 9 a.m.? Look, as it turns out, my foot was just fine. It had just fallen asleep while I was sitting on the toilet scrolling through eBay looking at lawnmowers and tractors I can't even afford. But crisis averted. And this is the reality of life now, right? Age over 40 gets hard. Chronic stuff happens. Look, your brain becomes a high-stakes control room, and the guy running the control room is a panicked man drinking a cup of coffee that is way too strong. And that brings us to our very first segment. All right, guys, come on, get on those boxing gloves. That's right, get them up. Here they come. It's Google MD versus Science Reality. Okay, we've all done it. That's right. You've done it. I've done it. Your wife's done it. The neighbor's done it. You get some weird twinge, some ache, pain, or cough that you didn't know was there, and instead of calling a professional who spent 8 years of medical school waiting for your one phone call to come through at this moment, you decide it's a better idea to hop in your phone at 2 a.m. in the morning and start scrolling. And then you type the words. That's right. You type in those magic words. Sharp pain right side under the ribs, man over 40 years old. That's right. That's when the fun begins. The real WebMD psychological horror show starts. Yep, it doesn't tell you, hey, man, you just ate too many buffalo wings. Maybe you should lay off the hot sauce and stay away from the Franks. No more habaneros for you, sir. No more habaneros. No, it goes straight to the end of the line. Do not pass go. There is no finish. Hasta la vista, baby. According to the internet, your mild headache, your itchy side, your runny nose with your little stomach ache is actually a rare tropical disease that's only found in the native tree frog of South America. Oh, look, joking aside, I actually do look up real medical news because the science is moving so incredibly fast. It is. If you're a guy battling chronic pain or an autoimmune issue, the pipeline of stuff coming out for you is absolutely wild and amazing, and at the top of biotech is awesome. Take pain management, for example. For decades, the medical system literally flooded people with the opioids for chronic pain. I'm sure we all remember that absolute disaster and how much of a mess that actually created. But there is a huge breakthrough happening right now with a new drug called suzetrazine. That's right. Say it with me, suzetrazine. Okay, it's a brand new class of non-pain medication. So instead of hitting your brain and making you feel like a completely zoned out couch potato zombie with a severe drooling problem, it literally just blocks the specific sodium channels in your pain sensing nerves. So boom, block, right? Just a bam, block. That's right. It turns off the alarm at the source so you don't have to risk the addiction, right? If you've ever had addiction issues, like real addiction problems, and had to get off it, you do not want it. It is not fun. Been there, done that. No, thank you at all. And that is huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge for guys if you want to stay sharp and in charge and have a good memory and know what's going on. These are what you want to be working with. This information is according to the USD, so the United States Department of Drug and Food Administration. That's right. Drug and Food Administration. That's where this information comes from. So you can double check my information. Now, if you have an inflammatory or an autoimmune condition like Crohn's, colitis, or severe skin issues, the new frontier is all about the targeted 23 inhibitors. That's right, the IL-23 inhibitors. So in plain English, for those of you that don't know what this is, instead of nuking your entire immune system with heavy steroids, like when I say nuking, it's like, okay, it's like, here's your body is the United States, and Russia just launched a nuke at it. Okay? Boom. Boom. Nuke and take you out. No, instead of doing that, these new medications, they actually act like heat-seeking missiles targeting only the exact protein causing the flare-up. So instead of hitting everything like a damn pinball machine in your body, it goes in and lays the smack down to the problem right at the root. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, look, I think that's a better way to go. And of course, this information, because we like to give out where we get the information, is from Ubi Health. That's right. So if you're looking at targeted IL-23 inhibitors, check out Ubi Health. There's other places you can find the information, but that's where I got my information for this, okay? So essentially, basically what happened is when I brought all of this printed out information, big old stack of all the Google research that I did, took it to my doctor last month. Of course, I skipped the WebMD tree frog thing because I didn't want to look like a complete and utter whack job. Nobody needs him poking and prodding me for a disease that I definitely do not have. I wanted him to talk to me about the targeted therapies. Okay, I get there. He actually looked at me with the same expression my mechanic looks at me when I try and explain to him how an automatic transmission works. Just pure and utter exhaustion and pity in his face. I was just like, ugh. Then he actually looked at the papers. He did. He looked at the papers and he sighed at me. He sighed at me and he said, "Sir, your science is actually accurate." Whoa, holy smokes, win for me. You're just severely dehydrated today, though, so can you go drink a glass of water real quick and we'll get you out of here? Good news. Hey, look, guys, a win is a win. All right, now let's go ahead and get to our mailbag session of the show. So we actually have our very first listener Q&A session. We have some great questions come through the email this week from guys just like you trying to survive the week. Our first question comes from Dave in Chicago. Dave writes, "Hey man, love the show. I'm 45 and my doctor just told me I have to cut back on red meat and beer to manage my gout and high blood pressure. I feel like my identity is being stripped away. How do you deal with lifestyle changes like this without losing your mind?" Dave, brother, I feel your pain. When a doctor tells a man he can't eat steak or drink cold beer, well, it feels like they just revoked and threw away the manhood card. Okay, but here's how to look at it. This is what I had to do. Think of it as a tuning issue, okay? If you have a classic car, you don't want to go and put some random cheap regular gas in it anymore. You want to make sure it gets the fuel it needs so the engine doesn't knock, okay? This doesn't mean you have to live on celery, all right? Switch to high quality meats less often. Treat a great steak like it's an event, not a Tuesday night habit you do every single week. And as for beer, the non-alcoholic beer market has come so far and exploded so much lately. It's pretty awesome. Some of craft beers actually taste almost exactly like the real thing, minus the inflammatory and hangover the next morning, okay? You aren't losing your identity. Look, you're just upgrading the maintenance routine of your inner vehicle so you can stay on the road a little bit longer. All right. Thanks, Dave. We appreciate that one. Good luck to you. We wish you the best, and we hope to hear from you again. All right, that moves us on to our second question, who comes from Austin in Austin. Austin asks, all right, my wife wants me to go to acupuncture for my first session due to my chronic back pain, but I hate needles and it sounds like straight voodoo. Have you tried it and does it actually do anything? Well, Austin, I was exactly where you are, and the idea of paying somebody to turn me into a human pincushion sounds absolutely insane. But I did reach the point where the pain was so bad, I pretty much would have let a witch doctor do the jig while tossing chicken bones across my bloody butt if I thought it would help. And that's just the real of it. Okay, here's the deal. The needles are so thin, you're barely going to feel them. Okay, and from a medical standpoint, it isn't voodoo. All right, neuroimaging actually shows that acupuncture stimulates the nervous system to release endorphins, your body's natural painkillers, okay? And it increases blood flow to the damaged tissues. All right, did it cure me? No, but it didn't take the edge off the pain so that I could sleep through the night for the first 3 or 4 days after the massive injury. Absolutely, okay? I'd say give it 3 sessions, maybe 4 sessions. It's an hour where you're going to be forced to be completely still, avoiding working on the garage door, mowing the grass, unloading the dishwasher, and probably some incessant chatting you don't want to be part of anywhere. So I would have to say the copay is worth it. So we're closing out the show with our daily win, and my win for today. I actually went to a local health food store to buy some fish oil. I managed to make it through that whole dang store without buying any crystals, magnetic bracelets, essential oils, or any of the other crazy pieces of wizarding voodoo-y stuff. The total cost, $15. My wallet and my common sense absolutely won the day. All right. That's it for the episode, fellas. All right, whether you're taking a prescription oil, drinking weird green juice, or getting poked with needles this week, just do whatever keeps your engine running. All right, make sure you drop your questions for the next mailbag segment in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you on the flip side.